What makes a nation rise against impossible odds? A young kingdom surrounded by hostile forces, invaded time and again, constantly torn by betrayal and war. Yet, from this chaos, Hungary emerges, not just to survive but to thrive, shaping European history in ways few saw coming. Welcome to Historical Veils, where we uncover the hidden stories of the past. Let's dive in. Today, we're diving into one of Europe's most underrated success stories, Hungary's journey from medieval struggles to becoming a powerful force. Stick with me, because this isn't just a historical timeline. It's a tale of ambition, cunning, and survival against all odds. And there's one twist near the end of Hungary's story that might make you rethink what resilience truly means. Hungary's story begins with the Magyar tribes, horse-riding warriors who arrived in the Carpathian Basin in the 9th century. They didn't just settle, they conquered. At the time, Europe was fragmented, with kingdoms fighting each other for control, and the Magyar raids became legendary, quick, brutal, and unpredictable. But here's the problem. Outsiders don't stay welcome for long. By the mid-10th century, the Magyars had raided too many neighbors, earning the wrath of powerful kingdoms like the Holy Roman Empire. Defeated at the Battle of Lechfeld in 955, the Magyar tribes were forced to rethink their survival strategy. This could have been the end for Hungary, a tribal confederation crushed by its neighbors, but instead of falling apart, they evolved. And this transformation would be led by a visionary leader. Enter Stephen I, Hungary's first king. Stephen wasn't just a warrior, he was a strategist. Around the year 1000, Stephen made a daring move. He converted Hungary to Christianity and aligned the kingdom with the Catholic Church. This wasn't just about faith, it was a political masterstroke. By embracing Christianity, Hungary went from being a rogue state to a respected part of the European order. Stephen even received a crown from the Pope, symbolizing that Hungary now belonged among Europe's legitimate kingdoms. But this shift didn't come without resistance. Imagine how deeply rooted the pagan traditions were at that time. Many tribal leaders rebelled against Stephen, and civil war broke out. For a moment, it seemed like Stephen's bold gamble would tear the kingdom apart before it even began. Yet, Stephen triumphed. He didn't just defeat his enemies, he built a new foundation for Hungary. Under his reign, Christianity spread, laws were introduced, and Hungary began its slow transformation from a tribal society into a medieval kingdom. By the 12th century, Hungary was no longer just surviving, it was thriving. Its fertile plains made it an agricultural powerhouse, and trade routes crisscrossed through the kingdom, connecting east and west. Hungarian kings expanded the kingdom's borders, stretching into modern-day Croatia, Slovakia, and parts of Austria. During this time, Hungary became a bridge between cultures, hosting merchants from Byzantium, Germany, and Venice. Hungarian cities flourished, and monasteries became centers of learning, slowly shaping a unique Hungarian identity. But as you know, history never moves in a straight line. Just when Hungary seemed destined for greatness, disaster struck, and it came in the form of the most feared warriors of the time, the Mongols. In 1241, the Mongols invaded Hungary with brutal force. Entire cities were burned to the ground, and tens of thousands were killed. King Bela IV, who ruled at the time, barely escaped with his life, fleeing to the western part of the kingdom. For a moment, it seemed like Hungary might vanish from the map. But Bela IV did something extraordinary. Instead of surrendering, he rebuilt the kingdom from scratch. And this time, he made sure it would be stronger. Castles and fortresses sprang up across the land, turning Hungary into one of Europe's most fortified regions. It's ironic, isn't it? The Mongols came to destroy Hungary, but in doing so, they forced it to become stronger than ever. But Hungary's troubles were far from over, because no sooner had they rebuilt than a new, even greater threat appeared on the horizon. As the 15th century unfolded, Hungary began to unravel from within. Noble families fought for control over the crown, weakening the monarchy. Corruption spread, and the once strong central authority began to crumble. Amidst this internal chaos, a new threat appeared: the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans were advancing into Europe with terrifying speed, swallowing entire kingdoms in their path. Hungary knew it was only a matter of time before they would face the full force of the Ottoman army. And that moment came in 1526, at the Battle of Mohács. The Hungarian forces, poorly prepared and divided by internal rivalries, were utterly crushed. King Louis II died in battle, and Hungary was thrown into chaos. It seemed like the story of Hungary was over. With their king dead and the Ottomans advancing, how could Hungary ever recover? But as history has shown us time and again, Hungary's story is one of survival, and their greatest comeback was just around the corner. After the disaster at Mohács, Hungary was split. The Ottomans took control of the central and southern regions, while the western territories came under the control of the Habsburg Empire. It was a dark time. The kingdom was fragmented, and many feared Hungary would never be whole again. But instead of giving up, Hungary aligned with the Habsburgs and became a critical player in the wars against the Ottoman Empire. For the next 150 years, Hungary's nobility fought side by side with the Habsburgs, slowly pushing the Ottomans out of Central Europe. It's incredible, isn't it? Despite being divided and weakened, Hungary didn't give up. They adapted, fought, and found ways to survive, even when the odds were stacked against them. There's a lesson in that for all of us. When life throws you challenges, you don't quit. You find a way to adapt. By the 18th century, Hungary's long struggle paid off. With the Ottomans pushed out, Hungary became a cornerstone of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was a new chapter, one of shared power, wealth, and influence. The capital city, Budapest, grew into a thriving cultural hub, known for its grand architecture, music, and intellectual life. Hungary wasn't just a country recovering from war, it was shaping the future of Europe. But even this moment of triumph came with challenges. As the 19th century progressed, nationalist movements began to rise across Europe, and Hungary's relationship with Austria became strained. Would Hungary's rise end in conflict once again? The Austro-Hungarian Empire eventually collapsed after World War I, and Hungary was forced to give up large parts of its territory in the Treaty of Trianon. Once again, Hungary found itself struggling to survive. But, as history has shown, Hungary always finds a way. Even today, Hungary remains a vital part of European politics, with a rich cultural heritage and a legacy of resilience that stretches back over 1,000 years. Hungary's journey, from a tribal confederation to a European power, reminds us that survival isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing challenges head-on and finding ways to thrive, even when the odds are against you.